Are you looking to take the next step in your Rocket League career? Then join the RLPC using the Discord link below.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the RLPC. My name is Quantum Deathcat. How did you enjoy your holidays? Ladies and gentlemen, we've got ourselves quite the A matchup today. And am I here with Dead Medic right off the bat here, or am I going to be alone?
No, I'm good. I'm here.
You're good. You are here. That's very good to hear indeed. How did you enjoy your holidays, Mr. Dead Medic?
Oh, we're good.
Oh, good. And that is good to hear. We got ourselves two of the, I'm sorry to say it this way, but two of the Titans coming up from A-League here. The literal Titans here, who are 9-1 with the second best goal differential in the entire league, just behind the Stallions, are up against the Ravens, who are 8-2 and plus 24. So they aren't slouchers themselves, but they seem like quite the underdog up against this Titans team.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a good match either way. I think you're right. They're a little bit of an underdog just in the fact Titans have a slightly better record. But I still think it's going to be a very good game. I think they're two teams with very different play styles as well, so it should be an exciting game to watch.
Indeed, I do think so as well. Well, with the trade deadline having come and gone, right? We got ourselves a lot of roster changes. Any big ones that happened on the 20th, just before the trade deadline got hit?
Well, I'm not entirely certain, right? Because I'm the AAA analyst most
Yeah.
of the time, but yes, I'm not really not certain on that. Unfortunately, I can't really answer that.
None for AAA either. I'm talking about the league in general. Any of the really big trades in general in the entire league. Could be in Indy, it could be in Paladin, could be in Major.
Yeah, I really didn't. I did look through it. I didn't see like any blockbuster trades. I think a lot of teams had already kind of figured out who they wanted to be by the time the trade deadline came around the season. And that they weren't really concerned with, okay, I need to change my roster to have a breakout season. I think teams on the lower end sort of look like they're poised to stay there for the rest of the season. So it was a little disappointing looking through them. I really didn't see any. I could be wrong, but I didn't see any that really stood out to me.
There were no blockbuster trades per se, and that's quite good at the same time if you think about it, right? No blockbuster trades means that there wasn't really a team out there that needed to drastically change things up, although some teams definitely did. Some stayed put, right? Because at the end of the day, if you need to tank, right, because you're thinking of next season, well, if you're not going to make the playoffs, might as well tank, right?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it felt like teams that were on the lower end just kind of accepted it. In particular, I'm thinking teams like the Tigers. I'm not really sure what's going on with teams like that that seem to be forfeiting more games than they play. I don't know, So like I said, it's a little disappointing to see. But it also makes sense because I think we've had in most of the leagues you've had a very clear distinction between the top and the bottom teams, and so teams are kind of just settled on where they're at. And it would be difficult to take a better player and suddenly make a blockbuster trade. I think this is one of those seasons where you're just seeing clear winners on the draft lottery, shall we say?
Yeah, the draft lottery. Speaking of which, because it is the top team in majors, right? No matter where they position themselves, it all it matters is those teams, right? So the teams right now to win it are Ascension, the Cobras, and who's the other 2-9? The Lions and the Spartans. All four of those teams are 2-9, except for the Cobras, who are 1-10. Who do you think ends up with the first overall pick here?
Well, like you said, I think it's looking like the Cobras, that 1-10, sort of highlighting as the bottom right now. I mean, they're all kind of vying for that spot. I hope none of them. Cobras might pull a Jets and suddenly lose that last spot that they really kind of want. But as of right now, it's looking like to me the Cobras are probably going to end up worse and worse in the first pick.
Who's my favorite YouTuber for the NFL? Oh yes, the Bungles bungled. That's a good expression because the Bengals also won up against the Steelers somehow, and well, they ruined their chances for the first overall pick by doing so. And Well, if the Cobras win up against a random team, right, a team that's fighting for a playoff spot, let's say the Bulls, who are 6-5. I don't know if they're actually going to play them. I'm just giving hypotheticals here. That's really detrimental for both teams, right? The Bulls can't lose that game, and the Cobras can't win that one.
Yeah, and I mean, you never want to say to a team, yeah, you guys should just not win, not try. It's better for you. But at the same time, I do think, yeah, you're right. Like, there's no winner in that,
No.
other than maybe pride, right, for the Cobras players, just to say, look, we weren't, we had a bad season, but look, we have the potential to be better or whatever if you were to play one of those mid-tier teams and win. So it would really only be for your pride that you'd be playing for, and I still think it's important, right? You want to set a tone, especially because let's say the Cobras decide they want to, they're the worst team, and they want to change up their roster. How you want to get signed as a player? You can't just say, "Well, look, I lost every game last season," right? You want to be like, "Oh, look, there were some good moments. This is why you should pick me up." So, there's downsides to that. So that would be the only good side for me for the Cobras. The Bulls, it'd just be awful all the way around. Like, that would just not be great if we're talking about them in particular. But yeah.
Well, let's open up the stat sheet here for the A divisions, right? The Stallions are running away with theirs. The Ravens that have the Pelicans straight on their heels. The Ravens 8-2. They're going to try and win this game up against the Pelicans, who are 7-3. Stallions are 9-1. Cougars are 6-5. So those are the 4 teams right now in the playoff spot. But the Rattlers and the Leopards are 5-6, trying desperately to get that last wild card spot. Who do you think is going to get this one?
Well, I think it's going to sort of be a toss-up. I would put my money on probably the Rattlers. It's really difficult. Obviously, they have the same records, but just games behind and things like that. I would probably put my money on the Rattlers. They also have a more interesting division, the Rattlers, in that their division seems harder. And so if they have to play more division games, then I think it'll actually be a lot harder for them to get the wins than perhaps the Leopards could, who's got a very close Predator division that they're fighting in. But I would say, just based off like stats alone, I'd go with the Rattlers.
Yeah, very well said. Because listen, if the Rattlers, if they're stuck playing against their counterparts in the Ravens and Pelicans, there's no way and they lose those games, right? There's no way they're going to make it to the playoffs. So they need to beat those teams. And so far this season, well, when they played the Cardinals, they lost both times, right? They played against Titans. They lost to a 3-0 there, but they brought the Ravens to a 3-2. So they keep it quite close, but the Pelicans won against them as well. So yeah, they need to win those very important games, and they just haven't so far.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is the story for the Rattlers so far. So that's looking quite good for the Cougars, who are 6-5, compared to the Rattlers, who are 5-6. But anything is possible. There's still 7 games left in the season. In the other conference, it's a complete mess. It's a complete mess. Titans and Miners have practically already gotten their ticket into this. Who are the other 2 teams that are going to follow them? Because at this point, it doesn't even look like the Tempest are going to make it.
Yeah. You saw one division seems to be really stacked, and that's always interesting to see. You could now have one of them start to fall off, right? Like the Miners do have 3 losses, so it's not like they're not a Titans level of, oh, we've lost one time and we've dominated the other games we played, and etc. So there's still a chance for Tempest to, if the Miners drop the ball, to pick that up, but they need to win out. They need to continuously win to even get close, to even have that hope, So
exactly. They need to keep it close, as you say, and that's going to be the important factor here. But right now, right, they will take the wild card spot, right, because they are second in the division, unless Titans lose here and the Miners can get a few extra wins, despite Titans having a game in hand.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't foresee. I think this will be a good game. I don't actually see the Titans losing this one, but yes, if the Titans were to lose, the Miners are suddenly a whole lot happier and looking a whole lot more optimistic about maybe taking that wrenching that first place spot away and maybe changing this whole conference up. So I think, to your point, a lot of teams tonight that are watching this are really kind of hoping them Titans lose. No offense to the Titans, but it matters a whole lot more to them.
It matters so much more. And the Ravens, they're 8-2, yet they seem like such an underdog, right? The winning percentage is it's 14%. It's a 14% difference. The goal differential for the Titans is 1.64, and for the Ravens it's 0.58. So they have over twice as much of a goal differential. And the Ravens have problems with shots against, right? They let on more shots than they shoot themselves. Meanwhile, the Titans have no problem with that. In fact, they've kept sometimes their opponents to 1-2 shots per game, sometimes 0 I've actually seen. So it's quite rough for the teams that go up against the Titans. And even though the Ravens have completely destroyed their opponents so far, it doesn't look like it's going to be very good tonight.
Right. Well, so that's what I was, that gets to what I was alluding to about these are two very different teams, right? The Titans, looking at them, at least looking at them in this roster and their stats and everything, they look like they're a put together team. They know how to play with each other. They know how to pass. They know their rotations. They are just a complete team. The thing about the Ravens that I've noticed is they seem to be a team that is very focused on individual talent. You've got one or two players on the Ravens roster, in particular looking at maybe like Bren and Clamps, that can pop off, and if they pop off, they win these games, right? They carry that team over the finish line. Their teammates are doing okay and they're there, but like you alluded to, they get a whole lot of shots on against them because you're focusing on maybe one of your players having these pop off moments, and then as a team you have to try to defend and then come back over, etc. So and as I was informed that Bren was a 1700 last season. So you have this player that's like, quote unquote God tier in this roster, and they're the one that you're like, okay, you have to do well and we'll win. And so far that's been happening for the Ravens, but their stats show that that's a very slippery slope. So you're going against a very complete team in the Titans. The Ravens are going to have to kind of figure out, can we pop off tonight? And if we can't, can we cover each other? Because otherwise I think they'll lose this game.
Yeah, Moss, Kensho, Itrots, and Soares on the other side for the Titans there. They've been playing like a well-oiled machine, as you said. Kensho only showing up in 2 games, though. So despite that, his stats still seemingly pretty decent. And you can look, they have a lot lower saves per game compared to the Ravens, but that's because they let on 2 shots less per game, right? And that's quite a big amount of saves less that they need to do. They're in the defensive zone a lot less. They intercept passes. They stop the ball from even entering their zone way earlier, and they keep in the offensive zone a lot, and it shows in the amount of goals they score.
Right, yeah, and that's ball control. That's a team that, like I said, plays together, knows each other, knows how to assist each other, and so what they do is never leave half field. They're always in their opponent's half, right? They move the ball around. They can hold on to the ball if they have to control it. They can do that. So they're a team that just doesn't live in their half, and that's obviously very good. I'm curious to see if that just leads to a lot of counter goals, maybe, and that's how some of the goals against them have been scored. But it's going to prove a nightmare for a player on the Ravens like Bren, who's like, okay, I need to 1v3 ball these kids, and then he gets in there and they're like, nah, dude, we know how to play with each other, and so you're going to have to, for the Ravens, you're going to have to start picking that up, and you're going to need a team effort to break this team that is sort of like an iron wall at half field.
And yeah, I agree with Lewis in the chat here. Don't sleep on the Ravens. Stats mean nothing at the end in the game. It is true, but stats do predict what could happen in the game, and that's what's important, right? We're trying to predict what's going to happen here, just like you guys can predict with your channel points who is going to win this game here. Right now, it's 5,600 points for the Titans to the 10 for the Ravens. That's a small amount of channel points compared. That's 560 times more. Ouch.
Well, to Lewis's credit, I mean, if I had a 1/5 goals per game, I maybe would not look at stats either. But anyways, just get some shade out there. But no, I think he's right. I mean, like I said, the Titans could fall apart. They could have a really bad day coming off Christmas, drank too much eggnog, getting out here, and then the Ravens are like, we got you. And that could happen. It's just, it's going to depend. What Titans team do we see and what Ravens team do we see out here tonight? I think, and that'll really, really decide it, which is why I said this is going to be a very good game. I think it should be a very exciting game with a lot of shots on either way.
Well, the vote is in. So far, it looks like it's going to be 6 people voting for Titans, 3 people voting for Ravens, so 75-25. on both ends there. Total channel points, 6K on the Titans side, 2K on the Ravens side. People are going to be losing a lot of channel points depending on who wins and who loses. And we see a lot of predictions here. Trotz has predicted, obviously, himself. Skirky has predicted the Ravens. And so my co-caster here for tonight will be joining me and explaining his thought process, why he chose the Ravens over the Titans. I'm sorry, T-Man, I love you, but it's hard to go against the Titans right now with the stats that they bring. Dead Medic, is there anything else you want to talk about before we head out here? Because I think the Titans are about to get into here.
No, I think just keys to victory are going to be Titans play together, play as a team, play like you played all season. For the Ravens, pop off, maybe start to work together, get that team out there, and then I think you have a very interesting match. I would say, though, my prediction is probably going to be 3-1 Titans take it, just based off what I know. But I think this is easily one of those games that could go to Game 5. So good luck to both teams. I think it'll be a really interesting one to watch.
Yes, indeed. And everyone, I hope you enjoy this game as much as I am. Thank you very much to Dead Medic for coming with me here as we go down to the booth. I am joined by Skirky here. And tell me about your thought process here for voting for the Ravens over the Titans. What went through your mind as you weighed both options here?
You see, Quantum, that's your first mistake. I voted the Ravens, not because I thought they would win, but because if they did win, I'd get more channel points than if the Titans won and I predicted them. That's how ratios work. But I do think that the Titans might take this game today, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, Soares, I believe, was 1,800 last season, and he's a powerhouse no matter what league he's in. I was actually on his Draftee Circuit team my first season here, and he was an absolute legend and beast. So I'm expecting kind of the similar things in what is now the A-League for him. And, the Ravens are great. They have Bren, obviously, and Clamps, who was a first-round pick last season in A, which is kind of shocking for everyone. So, I think the Titans are so comfortable on offense, but they're not as comfortable on defense. And it's the opposite for the Ravens. They're super comfortable on defense. I don't think they're going to really feel as much pressure as other teams would by the Titans offense.
All right. Well, this is going to come down. T-Man is mad that I went against him. Listen, Ravens looking like a good team, right? They are 8-2. They are a really, really good team. They're playoff bound, practically certified at this point, right? You look at the stats, and well, the Ravens are not in complete control of the Wild Division, but the Rattlers aren't that close, and the Cougars and Leopards aren't really, and the Rattlers aren't really up to par to be able to really fight with the Ravens right now, unless the Ravens go on a major losing streak. But you could say the same thing about Titans. They've got complete control of not just the Brawler division, but the entirety of the league. If you look at this, maybe not the Stallions. I don't know if both teams have faced off against each other, but the Stallions do be looking like a little bit better stats-wise. Have the faced off against each other before.
Yeah, and interesting fact about Bren, he's not only a single A starter, but he's also a double A starter for my roster. So he's been really useful to the organization overall.
So yeah, he's been playing some double time, Bren has over there. And let's see what the Ravens can bring over to the Titans here as both teams get ready. Anything else that needs to be said?
I mean, I really want to say go Ravens, but Soares is on my fantasy roster, so I'm a little torn apart here. I was not expecting this matchup tonight.
Thankfully T-Man heard you there, so he'll be very happy to hear that his player is somewhat voting for the other team to win.
He's a little deaf, don't worry about it.
Game number 1 underway for our first series tonight. We have 3 on our schedule for tonight, but this is our first one. Moss tries to take that ball around. That's not going to work out. It's going to be Titans in green and Ravens in red. Moss putting the ball back down. Bren keeps it in. Gets it by Moss. He's got no boost. He's going to try and pressure, but it's not going to be much. Mickey misses the ball, but Clamps is able to put it to the side. So it's going to be Bren, Clamps, and Mickey for the Ravens. Moss, Soares, and I Trot for the Titans. Off the back wall, this is going to go. Moss doesn't read it correctly. It's going to go wide. Trots picks up that ball, puts it into the corner. Tries to find a rebound, can't do so, and Soares needs to fly back here. Mickey trying to pressure here. He wasn't in the correct position to do so. Can't steal the boost either. Soares passing it off to iTrots. No, he can't find his man. He doesn't get the boost either. As Soares gets Demos Claps there. Claps finds himself in the dirt.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth action right now. I have to say, Soares is definitely going to show some mechanical skill this game, considering how much space that the Ravens are giving him right now.
You're lucky it's past the trade deadline, because T-Man's messages in chat were pretty funny. I'm trading you, he says, and then he can't because of the trade deadline having passed a week ago. What are your thoughts on the trade deadline? Anything interesting happened? Because I talked about that with Dead Medic. Did you find that there were any big blockbuster trades?
Well, that's a goal there from Trots, and what a shot. But little does T-Man remember, I'm on a no-trade contract, so it wouldn't really affect me. But, you know, I think it's definitely not going to affect either of these two teams, because I don't think anyone's going to get traded here. They're all really skilled players in single A. But in terms of other leagues, especially the lower ones, the ones that really needed help to get out, they're not going to find it in the waitlist players that they might need to pull from.
Well, let's see if you were right or wrong with that saying there. But the Titans are continuing to pressure here, and Moss gives his team a 2-goal lead there. The French Canadian with a nice rebound shot there after the shot goes off the crossbar.
Yeah, Ravens got a little too comfortable in their own end and ended up giving a little too much space to the Titans, which, you know, is never a really good thing to do when they average 9 shots a game.
Claps, he's gonna miss that ball. That's gonna go over to iTrots. Off the back wall, this will go. Mickey, last man back, had to hit that ball, and he did. Up the sidewall he goes, passing it down to Clamps. Clamps' shot is gonna go wide, and Moss is able to read it off the sidewall and put it off into center field. Bren pops it up high in the air, leaves it for Soares. Soares, he's gonna beat Bren there, and then beats Clamps. That's put up in the air for iTrots, who's not going to find it, not going to put it on net, but it's going to get past Mickey, so iTrot's shot here is going to be stopped by Bren. He needed to do so, and the Titans are bringing the pressure right now, and are the Ravens cracking under it right now?
Short answer, yes. I mean, they need to find some, you know, outfield passes here, and they're not finding any. A lot of whiffs on the defense, maybe some stream nerves, maybe some, you know, really good team nerves they're playing against, but either way, it's not working out for them.
Old Dirty, it's too bad you can't trade sign him, because, listen, the trade deadline just went down, Old Dirty, so too bad for maybe next season. Clamps, he's going to get that clear there, over to Brent, but Brent misses it, and so that leaves it for iTrots. He pops it over one, gets it past Mickey, up in the air it goes, but Clamps is able to read it, get it before Soares can. Mickey, over to Bren. Moss with the save there, puts it off to the side. He's able to get it off the sidewall, passing it over to Trots. Trots' shot is going to find Mickey's car as Bren messes with Moss. The French-Canadian can't find his 4 wheels on the ground.
Yeah, the Ravens really need to balance their comfortability and their composure right now. They're not composed at all, but they're way too comfortable on their back end. If they, like, settle down a little bit and then get those clears that they desperately need, they can get some sort of breakaway attack since the Titans are really far up the field.
Speaking of Titans, they're used to shooting a lot more than their opponents right now. The shots are only 3-2. Do you feel like this is more of a feeler game? Game 1 always feels more slow-paced, more feeling out your opponent, right? And right now, it seems like the Titans have turned it up a bit more on offense. There you go, that's a 3rd goal. The first 2 goals were more feeler goals, in my opinion. Right now, they're really circling around the net like hungry sharks.
Definitely a feeler game, but I think the adjustment might come towards more in the Ravens' end rather than the Titans. They, again, need to get their breakout opportunities and get some large clears, because right now they're trying to possess the ball in the midfield, and it's not working out with Soares and iTrots in the middle. So if they readjust game 2 and, you know, play more for their opponent's back end, I feel like things can really shift in their favor.
Soares playing keep away with Clamps as he starts to get low on boost there. Clamps, he's going to put it off into the other corner, but Trots is going to get to it first before Mickey can, and Brent is out of position. Tries to hit iTrots, that's not going to work out. Brent and Mickey, they both double commit into iTrots. It's going to work out for them, but Clamps is clear. It's not going to find anything until that point. Off to the back wall, this will go. iTrots misses it, but Soares, he finds it. That was crucial. That was a very crucial find indeed.
And it's really the what a passing play there from Brendan Clamps. Wow. I was about to say it's really the quality over quantity that the Ravens need right now, since their quantity is so low, and the quality in that shot was fantastic, giving them one goal in this game.
Yeah, Moss did not expect the shot to go short side and pushed himself more towards the middle. That is a 3-1 lead still for the Titans, though. Can you write off this game for the Ravens already? Or is it possible that they come back here? Or if not, will they need to just find one more, maybe a little bit more offense here, a little more stability, just to get a little momentum on their side?
I think that's kind of a rhetorical question with 10 seconds left. This is definitely a Titans game.
I mean, it did take me about 20 seconds to ask my question, didn't it?
A little bit.
Moss finds that ball, puts it bar down, pops it up. Bren hesitated way too much there, and hesitation will cost you.
Yeah, well, and the Ravens, certainly not a strong game for them. They need to, possess the ball and do their own thing and not be too phased by the Titans' really strong offense that might score a backward shot here from Soares.
Yeah, iTrods can't find it, and Bren pops it up in the air over to Mickey. Clamps tries to hit the defender there, but it's not going to be found. And it's a 4-1 game for the Titans here. They really flexed the muscles on this one. 7-3 the shots. And the first 2 goals and the first 2 shots went in. And then the offense really came to life. The demos, they circled around the net. They scared off the Ravens a lot on defense.
Yeah, definitely no changes needed on the Titans roster right now. It's just keep up the pressure, keep up the shots. Soares surprisingly having 0 shots this game and only having 2 assists, which is really uncharacter-like of him, considering how he's the leading goal scorer. Maybe he can, pop off in game 2 or 3. But the Ravens, they need to position themselves a little smarter to, save these shots that are coming in back to back to back from the Titans.
We are going to go over to game number 2 here. And what are you expecting here? Are your channel points in jeopardy, Skirky?
Lucky for me, I do have 7,000 of them left, so even if it does not go in my favor, I will survive.
So the final predictions, 6.6K on the Titans, 4.8K on the Ravens. How much of that is yours?
About 1,000 of that on the Ravens is mine.
Oh, that's it? Only 1,000?
Yeah, wasn't too confident.
Well, I was pretty confident into the Titans here. I put 5K on Titans, so I am a large part of the Titans here.
Okay.
The final predictions were 7-6, and the ratio 1.72 if you voted Titans, 2.39 if you voted for Ravens. Game number 2 is underway here, and that's going to come off easy as you like, but Soares with a great save there. I thought that was a goal any day of the week, but somehow Soares made the save.
Yeah, the Ravens need to finish their opportunities because they're not going to have a lot this game, and they just need to put it in the back of the net if they want to at least get 1 goal up in an early game.
Soares trying to get the ball cleared out. Passes it over to Moss. That's a complete whiff. And Bren is going to be the last one and tries to get the ball cleared out. Trots finds that pass. Soares is out of position. And Moss finds it. He passes it over to Trots. Trots' shot finds the post. That is just slightly wide, but the offense has now considered itself into and infiltrated into the defense of the Ravens once again. And oh wow, what a pass there. Clamps not able to find it. Trots, that's a good 50 by Mickey there to get the ball cleared out, but the ball is still in the offensive zone. Bren can barely touch it. It's in the corner now. Can he get to it? Yes, he can. Mickey pops it up in the air. Clamps, he can get it before Soares can as he completely misses it, and it's finally cleared out for just 2 seconds.
I mean, okay, I've lost a lot of hope, actually, this game. I'm hoping that when these 2 teams play in playoffs a little bit, or hopefully, we're going to readjust and, get some offensive pressure because they're not having any of the series.
Turn off your mic. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I do have to agree that right now the Titans are playing a better game than the Ravens. The Ravens are playing a bit of catch-up here, and if they can just find the first goal and they can find themselves a good defense here, because yeah, they do allow more shots than their opponents on a regular basis, not only that, when they're up against a really tough foe like the Titans, right, who shoot more than their opponents, then it really comes to a halt there, where they average over 2-3 shot differential. Last game was 4, and this game so far, it's tied up as the Ravens have come back here. The defense has been okay up until that point. Clamps, he finds it past 2, threading the needle.
I mean, the Ravens have 2 options right now, and that's go for a increased lead or, hold on to the midfield and hope that the Titans don't score. And I feel like the latter in the situation is not going to work out for them because the Titans are just going to keep pushing and pushing. They need to keep the ball on the Titans' end if they want to hold on to this 1-0 lead.
Sorry if I'm laughing. Your mic situation always cracks me up when it happens, just like your mic cracks with a lot of static. Yeah, a lot's been happening in this game. Is your faith restored, or as I said, they needed that first goal and to apply pressure? Do you think they could continue to do so? Because right now, it seems like they just found a little bit of something in this last minute.
Yeah, they need to balance not overcommitting because, the Titans are going to counterattack every single time and get that speed that is so rare in A to find. And, this might not be great if the ball continues to end up in their own end in the 50-50s.
Clamps in his own zone, double commits with Brent. That's a good pinch out of the zone. It goes off the back wall. Soares is going to need to find it on the ceiling. Over to Trotz. He's going to put it into the corner. Clamps, he's going to find it. Up in the air he goes. The shot is not hard. And Mas is easily able to find it. Brent is going to miss it. Soares finds it. Passes it over to Trotz. Brent intercepts that pass from Trotz over to himself off the side wall. Mas keeps it into the zone. Clamps gets the ball cleared out. Soares finds it, but they're just playing a little bit of ping pong here. Who's got the advantage? Right now it's the Ravens who have a 1-0 lead, but the Titans here, scary as ever.
Yeah, this ball is just going to keep staying in this corner, and Soares is so comfortable just rotating up the field, rotating back, that the speed of the Titans offense is so, threatening for the Ravens in this 1-0 lead. They need to, not concede any missed touches or whiffs if they want to stay in this game.
It's popped up in the air. Clamps, as you say, no missed touches, no misplays. That's put into the corner. An easy save for Bren. Moss, he's going to take this one. It pops up in the air after he gets dunked by Bren. Itrots passes it over to Soares, but Clamps is going to intercept that one and finds it first, putting it back into the offensive zone for his team. Bren puts it into the opposite corner, found by Trotz, passing it over to Soares. Soares' shot is on net! Stopped by Clamps as Moss gets demoed by Bren. And that's going to stop the offense here as Moss respawns in his own zone. Mickey over to Clamps, but the demo is a blessing and a curse as Moss had respawned in his own zone, had been in the net waiting, and was able to make the save, and now the counterattack ensues. Soares finds the shot, it's on net, stopped by Clamps. Trotz, he finds that ball, but it's too far for Moss. It goes off the side wall, and it's stopped by Bren. What a save there! And the series is going to be tied. The Ravens win a 1-0 game.
I got to take a sigh of relief after that one because that was a nail-biter, to say the least. I mean, the Ravens definitely conceded those missed touches that I was talking about earlier, but fortunately enough for them, there was too little left on the clock for the Titans to capitalize on it.
The Titans just couldn't push back that defense. That defense played absolutely perfectly, stopping all 6 shots from the Titans with 6 saves of their own. 6 shots on the side of the Ravens. Only 1 went in, 1 went off the post. And everything else was stopped. 10 total saves this game. Both teams not really known, especially for their defense. More offensive on both sides here. The Ravens more defensive, obviously, than the Titans. The Titans haven't really needed that much defense because they do their defensive prowess in the midfield, but they allowed 6 shots that game. That's more than their normal average, and they shot less than 8, and that's less than their normal average. So the Ravens really took them to town here, but Dead Medic did say that this could go 4 games, and easily 5. He's predicted a 3. I kind of have to agree with him there. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, you mentioned the equality of the shots across the board, but it certainly didn't feel that way at all. The ball was almost always in the Ravens' own end, and, they have to prevent that in the pressure, because even if the shots are equal, the pressure certainly not as the ball will roll in. That's a detrimental miss right there.
Detrimental indeed, and Moss is going to wish that he found that one. with 15 seconds left instead of 15 seconds into this game. Source could have easily stolen that. I think he tried last second there. He hesitated just a little too much, and as we say here in Rocket League, hesitation will lead you to missing a ball.
We say that?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, when you hesitate, do you hit the ball? That's
Depends,
right.
actually. Depends.
Moss, he's going to find that pass from Soares off the side wall, but that's not going to have anything to help with the offense. Mickey, he's going to get a bad touch here, but he's able to land properly and get himself a good clear to the corner. Soares brings it over. Brent! Oh my goodness, he tried for the double tap. That almost finds its way in. Moss's weak shot is going to be put aside. Soares keeps it in. Soares, he's going to air dribble this one. It's going to be put aside by Brent once again. And that is a very good start for the Titans. They got themselves a 1-goal lead. Exactly what they need specifically, and exactly what the Ravens don't want.
The Ravens are doing a really good job about not allowing that backboard space, especially for Soares. As Soares is going to go for a flip reset musty flick. I don't know what this is. Oh my gosh. Okay. I mean, at least it wasn't a backboard that, the Ravens are doing a good job with that.
Oh no! Moss has missed the ball once again. Well, he hasn't missed the ball. He's missed the net once again, I want to say. I think that's his third shot, maybe, of this game, where he's really gotten close. Fourth shot, technically, if you count his goal. But so 3 shots have gone off the post for him. Shots that could have been on net, that were wide. And Soares with an amazing play there. I think we were both a little stunned by that one. Chat, Cuddly Bob, completely correct with that statement. Why is Soares an A? Well, why is Brent an A? A lot of people saying that he is one of the better players in A, but right now his team really needed him to shine as Trotz. He's going to air dribble this one over 1, over 2.
The Ravens doing a little bit of the opposite of what they did in Game 1 and got caught too far up the field, which is a really rare occurrence for them, considering how the ball, again, is always in their half and they're always, all 3 of them, on their goal line.
Yeah, they seem a little bit more confident, but overconfidence killed their defense there, and they need to regroup here. They're down by 2. 2 minutes have passed in this game, and give me a moment. I am back. My bad.
I'll take a sip of water.
No. Quite the opposite.
Oh.
Actually, I do need a cup of water here. Could you take over?
I would be honored to take over, Quantum. Trot's going to find that in the back of the net already. I mean, goes to show when Quantum leaves, the action happens here in RLPC. Sorry, Quantum. He's not going to hear that. I mean, great mechanical skill there from Trotz. Kind of stole it from Soares, but nonetheless, it's in the net. And it is what it is. Back to kickoff. 3-0 lead in the Titans' favor right now. It's a good kickoff, though, by Bren. Nothing to capitalize on it, though, unless Mickey can score this open net. And he will. 3-1. Deja vu to Game 1 at the moment. A little mistouch there from Trotz, who... I apologize. I've been casting this entire time and definitely got DC'd from the call. So if anything happened, I apologize for that. But, Bren going up the wall here, looking to do something with it, but ends up giving it right back to Moss, who whiffs it. And now Trotz is stuck on his own end. Last one back. Looking to capitalize here are the Ravens. That's a good shot. Good save from Soares as well. Mickey can turn on this one, get a free shot, but puts it off the backboard for Moss, who will not make contact. And Mickey, tactical whiff. No, that's actually a touch off of him. Now put middle for Trotz, who looks for a shot on target, goes just off to the wide area, but put back down for a Titans player who whiffs it. That was an open net there if he made connection with it. Soares now going up for some sort of mechanical play, but ends up just having no boost and drops it for nobody. Now a shot on target from Brandon, and almost a great dunk from another Ravens player. The dunks keep coming in from the Ravens, and I believe Quantum's back.
Yeah, I am. Sorry about that. I really had a bad cough there, and I went to get a little bit of Halls to get that sorted out here. What's happened while I was gone there? It seems like the score has increased by 1 on both sides.
Indeed, it has, and I DC'd from the Discord call. But excluding that, the Ravens have had some actually decent pressure, which you'd be surprised about.
Yeah, the Ravens, I could see that. They've gotten themselves quite a few shots here, but the Titans, 8-3 the shots right now. And it just shows a little bit here that, well, with that one on net, that was very close. But once again, overconfidence in the offense. But this time they actually needed to do that. It was all or nothing on that play, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, at this point with 30 seconds left, it's not the worst idea to go for the all, but, you know, it ended up being a little less than nothing and going in the Titans' favor.
I've seen it, you see it a lot in hockey, right? They bowl the goalie to get the 6th attacker on and within the last few moments of the game to try and get a goal or two, right? And obviously, it doesn't work out more often than not, but at the end of the day, right, you need to go for it if you want to win. And if you never go for it, then you'll just end up like soccer teams who, well, they rather lose a game than try and tie it up.
That was actually offensive to a soccer player. Oh, wow. Last second goal there from Bren. You know, that wasn't really an all or nothing play, but still it worked out in their favor.
Worked out indeed. Bren puts it on net. Moss with a bad save there. It pops up back down into him. Save, bar down, and back into the net. Oops. That's gonna happen from time to time, but the Titans take a 2-1 lead in the series. And Bren really trying to carry his team here with 1 goal. And Trotz is bad.
Who is Craig? That's a question I have as well. I mean,
What do you mean, who is Craig?
who's Craig?
How do you not know who Craig is? Come on.
Am I missing something?
No, you aren't. Craig is the GOAT. Even Dirty knows who Craig is. I don't even play and I know who Craig is. Come on, Skirky.
I feel like you're trolling me right now. But if someone in Twitch could like DM me on Discord and tell me what it is so I don't look stupid, that'd be fantastic.
I mean, they're saying in the chat as well, right? In the regular chat. So they're trying to just say GGs, but apparently people like you don't know who they're saying GG to. Too bad.
I have no comment. I'm so confused right now.
Well, we got ourselves a 4th game upcoming here, and if the Titans win, me and Dead Medic here are going to be correct, and everyone who put channel points on the Titans will receive 1.72 times what they put in. So, with me putting in 5K, for example, I put in 5K, and I'm gonna get with all that. Give me a second here, because the game 4 is underway here. Yeah, quick math me real quick. As I do this really quickly. That is completely incorrect. My goodness. All right. Well, I'm going to try and do that later as game number 4 is underway here. And the Ravens keeping it in the midfield, but not going to work out. Soars once again bring the offense here, trying to pass it back to iTrots. And you said it in game 1 that they stopped the back wall from really being utilized, but I've seen a lot of utilization games 3, and early on in game 4 here, that was a utilization of a back wall pass right there.
Indeed it was, and I'd like to inform you it is 8,700 or so that you will be receiving.
Are you sure? Yeah, that makes sense.
But don't rub it in, though. Don't rub it in, you know? Some
because
people might get upset.
would be 9,000.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if you put in 1K, you get 1.72 back. That's pretty much it. And, well, for the people who went with the Ravens, you get nil, zilch, 0, 0, whatever other love. There you go.
I mean, you are assuming that the Titans will lose this game, which is, you know, not happening right now, but it might.
Well, they're tied, and they are losing the series.
Well,
right now.
Yeah, I mean, but if you really think about it, you know, they might not lose, so it's a little too early to jump to conclusions.
Claps with the save on Trotz there. Trotz almost got demo chased by Mickey. That's not going to be found, though. Soares has the ball in his own corner there, waits for Mickey. He's going to get it past Mickey, but Claps gets it in the nick of time. Good intercept by him there. iTrot's high in the air. Mickey is going to break rotation and miss the ball. That's horrible there. And Brent's going to need to go for it. He's got no boost, and Claps stayed back in the net. And that's a good passing play, but Soares with a great save off of his own crossbar.
Finally, a good opportunity for the Ravens. They've had, I believe, Zero Zilch, as you put it, this game. And, unfortunately, they couldn't put it back in the net. But, I'm hoping at least one more will come and they can capitalize on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to say the number 0 or just nothing, null, right? Nil, zilch, love. If you like tennis, right?
I do.
So, you don't like tennis?
I play tennis.
Oh, you play tennis. Okay,
Yeah.
I misheard you. Yeah, tennis is great.
Tennis
It can
is
be,
great.
It can be boring. I mean, you watch tennis from time to time here on the RLPC, right? As teams just pass it back and forth to each other like hot potato. But these guys obviously they know what's at stake, and both teams having 0 on the board is beneficial really for the Ravens more than the Titans.
Definitely.
Especially if the Ravens can capitalize first here. Who's going to make the first mistake? It seems like it's going to be the Ravens. Oh, I spoke too soon. I opened my big mouth, it seems. And Soares, he forces the first mistake on brand of all people. Soares, soaring to new heights.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in that joke, honestly. But
You're disappointed in me in general.
Yeah, but excluding that, the Ravens are going to need to, come back for their only game that they would be able to come back for in Game 5 if they want to stay in. Or Game 4, and actually, no. This is the first time that the Ravens have tied it up once they've been down, so, anything could happen.
Well, there's a first for everything. Mickey puts it off the crossbar. That was an all-or-nothing play. All 3 players in the crease. And had that been stopped and cleared out, that would have been a sure goal. That is a ballsy play to do with 100 seconds left on the clock, right? You're only down by 1 goal, so throwing all 3 players on offense should not be top priority at that point, but I think it just threw everyone off.
Yeah, the Ravens need to surprise us if they want to come back, so, anything they can pull out of their pocket is going to be helpful for them.
Yeah, especially if it can be something magical. iTrots picks up from Bren. Bren's shot was weak and off of the back wall. Mickey gets outplayed by Trots there. Trots pops it up in the air. Bren is able to knock it off of the back wall, but Clamps, he's not going to have much of anything to do with this ball. He tries to get rid of it like it's hot potato. And once again, we are playing some tennis. Back and forth this will go. Hot potato once again.
Yeah, this may be Christmas colors on the field, but the Ravens are going to need a Christmas miracle if they want to come back and win this series, so we'll see what happens.
Will it be a Christmas miracle, or will it be bah humbug? Let's find out here. We are tied at 1. 40 seconds left to go here. iTrots gets demoed by Clamps, but he respawns and is able to make the save on Bren. Again, a blessing and a curse. When you demo someone, they will respawn, and they could ruin your plans compared to if you just bump them. Soares is off the sidewall. He almost finds that. What a shot by Soares there. Reading that play like he shouldn't have done in the first place. Bren, his teammate misses the ball, and that's going to be making it awkward for him. Trots is trying to get a very low shot. He tried to fake out Mickey, but Mickey isn't going to be fooled. That shot from Bren sadly isn't on net. It hits the ground, and overtime is commenced.
This is a scenario that the Ravens do not want. They do not want the overtime, because any mistake on defense with the Titans' strong offensive pressure is going to mean a goal, and that's all the series is going to cost them.
Yeah, this is definitely do or die. And right now, the Titans have everything to live for here. Meanwhile, the Ravens, they need to do it, right? This is the time to do it. If they don't do it now, it's all but over. They'll be 8 for 3 for their season. Obviously, they'll be playoff bound still, but the Titans will be 10-1. But we're gonna go to Game 5 to figure out who wins this game.
The Titans, I'm feeling they're a little bit uncomfortable on defense right now. And that's a great sign for the Ravens, considering how little they are on offense. It's just that one mistake that is obviously a little more common on the Titans defense and the Ravens defense that they need to score, and they've capitalized on this overtime very well.
me and Dead Medic were actually talking about that. The Titans have less saves per game, a lot less saves per game compared to the Ravens, and that's because the Ravens spend a lot more time in their zone, right? They have 4 saves per game on average before the series started. Meanwhile, you look at the Titans, they have a 3.25, some of the lowest in the league. In fact, the only team lower than them, right? They're the second lowest in terms of saves per game. The only team that's lower is the Eskimos at 2.97. And the Ravens at 3.98 are actually kind of in the midfield. Some teams like the Cardinals, Genesis, and Embers are way past the 4s.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see that Bren's teammates really woke up that game. It's just a matter of will they stay awake for Game 5 to, hopefully come back and get that, not reverse sweep, but 2 games in a row to secure the series.
Yeah, they were down by a game here 2 times. Can they win it out, or will it be a win for the Titans, a win for the Ravens, a win for the Titans, a win for the Ravens, and a win for the Titans once again? That's what I predicted, and you've predicted otherwise. Let's go for game number 5. Who do you have, ladies and gentlemen? Who is winning game number 5 here? And what are your opinions on those who don't believe in your team? Let's go. That shot on net here. Mickey is going to be able to stop it, but iTrot's doing what he does best, keeping the ball in the zone. That's what they've been doing all game long. But finally, the Ravens have woken up to that. They've been able to get those ball clears. Farther into the series this has gone, the better they've been getting at that, haven't they?
Yeah, and it's just the ability the Ravens have to clear the ball has gotten greater and greater. So if they had those counterattacks that they did in Game 2 to win that Game 4, they have a chance here. They really do.
They really do, and they really hope so, because 4 minutes left to go here. They don't want to have fought Game 4 and overtime all for naught. Thank you, Denboy, for the raid. That is very kind of you for doing so, and we got ourselves quite the Game 5 here. What a series we have so far. Titans getting us on the edge of our seats. Mickey with already 3 saves here. Grabbing his Guardian, and the offense really popping off here for the Titans. 5-0 are the shots. 90 seconds into this match. That's the first shot right there. Oh, that's going to be slightly wide, but that's a good bump, and that's going to be stopped by Moss. What a save there. I did not expect him to do so after the bump made by Clamps.
Maybe bumps are exactly what the Ravens need in this Game 5, and they switched it up and tried to progress that little skill of theirs, and it might really do them some favors.
Oh my goodness, the offense is really popping off here for the Ravens. It started off for the Titans in the first 90 seconds, but in the last 30, they found themselves quite a bit of offense, and those shots were quite dangerous. You talked about quality over quantity because the Ravens couldn't find that much quantity. Well, those were some quality shots, and those were some quality saves. It's in the air. Mickey, his shot is going to be wide. It's going to be slow as well. Bren's rebound is going to be wide as well as Clamps gets bumped out of the way. And the boost is stolen from Bren, but Bren somehow demos Moss. How does that even happen there as he's got no boost? That shot from Soares is going to be wide. Clamps puts it into the corner. Over to Bren. Moss, he's going to put it off the sidewall, but Clamps is the only one to find it. Moss keeps it in the offensive zone. Over to Soares. Soares pumps it up in the air. He passes it over to Trotz. What a save there by Clamps. And it's in the midfield, directly in the center. Moss pops it up for himself. Over to Clamps. No, Clamps can't find it first. And so Bren, he's going to need to sell this down. But like hot potato, he just gives it back to his opponent. And 2 minutes left on this clock. We're still tied at 0. And the deadlock continues.
The Ravens' defense is really holding up here a lot better than any other games that they've played in this series, and the offense is also looking a lot stronger until maybe right now they might choke a little bit, but this has been a great game, no matter how the series is going to go.
Oh no, Brent misses that one, and that's going to be a free goal for Moss. Oh no, Moss. He finds that one. Soares shot goes off the crossbar, bar down and out. Claps misses it. Brent misses it. And with 97 seconds left to go here, the Ravens are down by 1.
Yeah, the Ravens just kind of lost their composure on defense there. I was just talking about how they were feeling a little more comfortable. And they were comfortable, they were just not composed in the end, and that cost them the goal.
Yeah, Cubics is right here. What a way to score. Imagine if that is the game winner, how you were to lose a game. But Clamps, he's gonna go for this along with Moss. But Moss can't save that because Mickey comes in there and is being a disruptive fly on the wall. Lands on his face.
That was a really not a good shot. So I'm really happy that Mickey went from that demo, because otherwise it would have been a really easy save, and luckily Moss is back a little too late to save that one.
Craig finds himself the goal there. And that...
Wait, back up. Craig?
Yes, Craig finds himself the goal.
Pick it up.
We got ourselves a 1-1 game. And do you think we might see an overtime here, or is Caster's Curse going to affect us and we won't see any overtime? A 2-1 game probably probably on the cards here, but is it going to be overtime or is it going to be regulation?
I really don't like this question, Quantum. I really don't. Because if I say overtime, I feel like the Ravens are going to lose it. But, you know, if they manage to get a goal here.
They've won both overtimes, so how can you say such a thing?
I don't know. It's a gut feeling.
Whenever the game's been close, Ravens were the one to take it. The Titans, they took out blowout games. Right now, it's the Titans because they are the ones who had everything to lose in this series. They were up by 1. They had the series. They had the Ravens at their by the hand at their throat. And right now, the Ravens, they're bringing this one to overtime. And this is going to all go down to 1 goal. This entire game, this entire series is going to go down to 1 goal.
There might be a kickoff goal here for Mickey. Oh, unfortunate. And it might be a counterattack. Okay.
Oh, no! How could this happen like this? Brent pushes forward as both of his teammates do as well. He did not stay back. He hesitates to do so. And Trotz finds the only goal that he needs. The only overtime goal for the Titans. They needed that one. It was so badly. The Ravens really wanted this win. They could have gotten the quote-unquote upset win here. They were so close, yet so far.
I mean, no matter how this result was, it was really, in my opinion, the A match of the season. I've really been fortunate enough to cast it with you, Quantum, so it's been a pleasure.
Oh, I completely agree with you there. That was one of the best A matchups I've ever seen, and tonight we got ourselves more than just these games, right, ladies and gentlemen? We've got a lot more going on tonight. We got ourselves the Wildebeest versus Dragonflies and Paladin, and then for AA, we're gonna have Mustangs versus Avalanche. And so you shouldn't go away whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot more on our hands here, and I'm gonna be talking about that during the desk. I just need to get a cup of water before we do go to desk. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back in about 2 minutes, and then I'll be doing some desk.